Hi everyone, welcome to today's lesson on prime factors. Before we start, I just want to say that I hope you're all doing well, Year 6. Um, I know it's tough working at home, but I hope you and your families are safe and that you're staying fit and active, and hopefully you're not spending too much time on the computer or on a device. And hopefully in week 3, you haven't driven your parents crazy by now. Okay, so before we start, just a heads up that I'm not using my Apple Pencil for this video, so you have to bear with me and be patient as I use my mouse to navigate and draw things. Okay, so let's have a look at our learning intention and success criteria first. So today we're going to create and complete prime factor trees, and your success criteria is you're going to apply your knowledge of prime numbers, composite numbers, and factorizing to complete prime factor trees. So all three things are important and necessary to complete prime factor trees. And you would have touched on, or revised rather, prime numbers and composite numbers in your previous lesson. But nevertheless, we'll recap them very quickly for those who have forgotten or just need that refresher. All right, so what is a prime number? A prime number is a whole number greater than 1 that only has two factors, 1 and the number itself. So for example, 13 only has 1 and the number 13 itself. There are no other ways or no other numbers that you can multiply to get 13. Okay, and a composite number is a positive integer that isn't prime. And this is something you would have gone through in the previous lesson. Okay, so what about factors? Factors are two whole numbers that we multiply together to make a product. So when I say product here, in mathematical terms, we just mean another number. So for example, the number 24, 4 and 6 are factors of 24. Because when I multiply 4 and 6, I get the end product 24. Okay, but of course, we know there are other ways to get 24. There are more than just two factors. So they are 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. Okay, so here, oh, so much for making it red. Let's try it again. They are my factors. And when you were completing your activity on highest common factors, you may have written your working out this way as well. Okay, so now that we've revised factors, let's have a look at factor trees. And I'm going to use the example of 36 here. And you'll be able to see how a factor tree is different to a prime factor tree. Okay, so in the number 36, okay, I can multiply 4 and 9 to get 36. But to get 4, I can branch down further because 2 and 2 gives me 4. Same with 9, my two factors, 3 and 3. Okay, so very straightforward. If you know your time scales very well, then factors are pretty easy for you. Okay, now I'm going to use a different number, but this time I'm going to do the same steps, but one is a factor tree and one is a prime factor tree. So for example, the number 48, I can do, I might make my text a bit smaller now. Let's match the size 34. Okay, so in the number 48, I can do 12 and 4, and I'm going to change the color. If you know me very well, I have OCD, so I can't stand it being different colors. So 12 and 4. If I keep going down further, okay, 2 and 2. Now for 12, I can do multiple, or I can do different numbers. I can do 4 and 3, 2 and 6. Here, I'm going to choose 3 and 4 because I can branch this 4 down even further. And that's it. That's the end of my tree, basically. Okay, now if I did 6 here and 2 here, then that's 6. I will just branch it down to 3 and 2. Okay, but that's a factor tree. Now let's compare the same thing, but with a prime factor tree. So over here, I need to choose a number from the very beginning that I know is a prime number. So that means only the number itself and 1 can be multiplied together. Okay, so I'm going to use 3. And the other number, 3 times what makes 48, or 48 divided by 3. My answer is 16. Now, because the 3 is a prime number, I leave that. That's done on that side. All I'm focusing on is this side now, the 16. So from that 16, which isn't a prime number, I keep branching down. Now, I can choose to do 2 and 8. That 2 is a prime number. And the 8, 2 and 4. And I have to make this a bit smaller. I'll scroll down actually. 2 and 2. Hopefully you can all see it. Make my screen smaller. There you go. Okay, so that's my prime factor tree. So you can see how it's different because from the very beginning I have my prime number and my composite on the other side, and it branches down a bit more compared to this side. All right, let's try one more example with a different number, and I could have chosen a smaller number, but I've chosen a bigger one so you can see me branch it out step by step, and that will make it somewhat easier for you when you move on to your worksheet independently. Okay, so let's try the number 72. Okay, so if I do my factor tree, I can do 9 on this side and 8, and then from the 9 I can just branch down to 3 and 3, the 8, 2 and 4, oops, and that 4 becomes a 2 and 2. Now for the prime factor tree, once again I want to make sure my number on one side is a prime number. Okay, so I'm going to use 3 again because it's a prime number, and I know 3 times 24 will give me 72. So from that 24, I start branching down. And let's see if I can fit it all together now. So I can do 2 and 12. From 12, I can do 3 and 4. And from 4, 2 and 2. Okay, and you might be wondering why I haven't used other numbers to make 24 or 12. But I've chosen these numbers because I want my number here to just be a prime number. Okay, if I chose 4 here and a 6, then I have to branch that 4 down and the 6 down. But I've tried to just use prime numbers. So from here, 3, 2, 3, and that's it. Okay, so that's why it's important you know all your factors for these numbers so you can choose the correct one. Because if I had chosen from here 12 and 4, well, I guess I could have done 2 and 6, that would have worked. But up here, like I said, with 24, I can do 3 and 8 as well. Okay. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful. And um, when you move on to your worksheet, everyone, if you get stuck on questions 10 and onwards, then I'm going to give you a little clue. The prime numbers will not go into the 2 digits. Okay, because I've had a look at your activity and I can anticipate that some of you might be stuck on the 3 or 4 digit numbers. But if you know these steps, then I'm very confident that all of you can do a very good job. And of course, I want you to have a go. Do not just skip it. Have a go and try your best, because if you don't have a go, you're not going to be able to learn from your mistakes. So good luck, everyone, and hopefully um, I can make another video in the upcoming lesson. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Adios.